everybody, and I'm so sorry that I've been amiss for so long. I've been just banging out project after project, and have not been having enough time to share with you. But today I'm catching up. I'm catching up in showing you the new, well, not that new actually, program called the famous E electric piano. And I guess they cannot mention the name of what piano this is for copyright purposes, but you'll recognize it right away. Let me play you a little bit. You know, made out of airplane parts. And listen to this instrument, what kind of a journey it takes you on. It just, you know, it takes, I heard that Jay Graydon was involved in the creation of this library. I forgot who the gentleman's name was who this belongs to, this Rhodes that was sampled. It's got a couple of interesting quirks, amongst others, the lippy sounds, you know. These ones are particularly pronounced in this area over here. And then they sort of stop. So, and that's actually the character of one of the Rhodes I sold at that music store that I worked in from 1978 until 86, believe it or not. Believe it or not, 8 years in a music store, almost 9. And if you go down lower, you see that there's that clicky sound that it stops right below these keys. Right? So there's no more of that tine sound coming through, which is so lovely over here. But it's cool. The Rhodes were not evenly doing it across the keyboard. That's cool. You may also know that the sound is very warm. And that has everything to do with the EQ in it. I did a good bit of EQ crimes on that thing. You can see that right over there on the EQ. I'm sorry for the distant sound. I'm so in love with this thing, I had to start recording right away and share it with you guys. You see the bass is cranked up quite a bit. You know, there's 30% bass added. A little bit of the harder low mids dialed out. High mids are on unity gain, and then there's treble added. So let's listen a little bit more. I would say the expressive potential, that what I'm just playing right here, the dynamic range is larger than most Rhodes that I have played in my lifetime, and there's a lot of them that I've played. Suitcase ones, exquisite studio ones. This is one of the exquisite studio ones, probably the most realistic I've ever touched. And I want to thank my friend Manfred Grohl in Germany. He said, "Stephan, check this thing out." And I'm so glad. I just looked at some of the demos and went like, don't like the demos that much. They're showing only a very small part of what this thing is capable of, so let me shell it out. And they have I think there was just not right now before Christmas, there's a 30% discount on it, like a Christmas discount. And I dialed it in, so it was mine. You know, I think the normal price is $179. So I said, well, what the heck? You know, if I get it into my library and it turns out to be just another decent Rhodes, so be it. So I downloaded it. Now I can tell you that this response here is so fast that it just, even I'm sitting far away from the speakers, it's still fast enough. That's the fastest interface I've ever heard coming out of Contact, the fastest reaction and response. So to me, that makes me supremely happy because finally I have a Rhodes that reacts the way at least as good as a live instrument. And since they sample it with 18 levels of velocity according to the website, I just keep hearing more nuance. Look. That's really, really impressive. That's impressive. Okay, hands down, best Rhodes ever for my taste and for my sensibility on any plugin I've ever heard, bar none. Look at the rhythmic responsiveness. There you have it. this is an overview. Let me just look quickly at the scenes. I'm going to turn the keyboard camera off and just stay on the screen with you guys for a moment. So the naked sound of the instruments, the way it came from factory, was no chorus, there was no EQ, it was just naked. And you see that it's just, you know, a little narrow in the mid-range. And I also have to take one script out here. Well, actually, I don't have that in here. Okay, good. Then, so I thought, I need more warmth. So I went in. And I thought, all right, now it's a little cloudy in the mid-range. The low mid's here. Clear it up. All of a sudden, there's some clarity. Let's look at what high mids do. Could also be lowered a little bit, and then I brought up just a little wisp up here of high EQ. That's a very responsive, very lovely sound. And this gentle chorus over here. Now you hear that there's a little bit of verb on it. It's like a gentle, lush verb on it. That is actually coming out of Contact, not from the plugin. So I haven't even used the effects yet. You know, I know that I can be plugging things in here. I have not done any of the advanced settings. I'm using it just as is. So let's go back here and let me show you what I did in terms of reverb. I opened up an aux. So by clicking on the aux tab over here, that opened up the aux sliders. I'm sending like 35% of total of max over here to aux 1. And in aux 1 is a convolution reverb that's built in. That's Concert Hall A, my favorite of all the settings. It's just like, listen to this. And you can tell, so that particular IR or impulse response doesn't carry a lot of bass with it. Look. It's just got just the right amount. It feels natural. Nothing weighs the mix down. And the way I test that is by playing some low mid stuff like here, and then bringing the reverb up and down. Right now it's minus 3.7 dB here. Do you realize the mix is not getting heavier, right? It's not getting muddier. Just reverb shows up, but not mud shows up. So that's just the nature of that particular impulse response. And I cut it down to 65% of the normal length. Normally it's a lot longer. So 100% would be. And the dissolution of that, you know, the tail of this thing is absolutely beautiful. But 67 some kind of percent seem to be just the right unobtrusive length just to open this up a little bit. Hang on, my camera is alerting me that it wants to switch off. Okay, well, why don't you just switch off? Okay, coming back to, so that's all I've done. And right away from the get-go, so that's the reverb here. Right away from the get-go, I was in love with what this thing sounds like and how full it is. You know, how blues and gospel-y it can sound. This is absolutely beautiful. And this thing barks, and it's just got a nice little bit of distortion on it. You know, some tube distortion. I would probably even add like another tube saturator afterwards just to get even a little bit more grit out of it. But I don't want to lose the precision of this thing. So this is just an ideal live instrument, you know, to take on the road because it just reacts so incredibly fast. Okay, folks, that's all I've got for today. I'm not going to delve deeper because I'm already happy. I usually go as deep as the sounds, with the sounds, not digging into all the deepest advanced options. If the sound makes me happy, this makes me extremely happy. So please give this channel a like. Hope this was useful and informative for you. The website where you can get this is actually at Orange Tree Samples. So right now, this is not a sponsored video. Orange Tree Samples have a lot of good stuff. They've got a whole bunch of things developed over the years that made me very happy here in the studio at the Creation Station. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. If this is useful for you, I'm going to try to do my best to be a little bit more regular now. Contact me at the channel. I do teach all sorts of stuff, jazz piano, harmony, scales, plugin development, plugin editing, as well as Pro Tools and so forth. These things can all be taught over Zoom. Have a super creative day, you guys, and God bless. Peace out.